Hey, what is up, guys? Bluntguts here. This is a Watch Your Realms video. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I appreciate it. Please do like and subscribe if you do enjoy my content as well. I would also appreciate that. So I am coming to you on June 14th. The Magda and Constance 15X is active, and I am super excited at what is going on in Watcher of Realms this weekend. We've also got the Dahlia banner active. We've got all of the Dahlia accoutrement is active as well. So we just got a lot of good stuff going on in Watcher of Realms. And this is just the start because we've got an entire month of anniversary activities, it seems. So I'm just stoked. We've got a lot of good things coming to this game. I already did my summons. Please go check out that video. However, spoiler alert, I didn't get Magda. I did get my Dahlia. I got a couple of other Legos on the way, but I didn't pull Magda. And if you watched the breakdown video that I did for Magda earlier in the week, then you know that I was pretty excited about her. I think she has a lot of potential in a lot of different areas in the game. She brings some unique aspects to her kit, such as knockback, as well as some badass ground AoE damage, which is just beautiful. I love the hero. I hope I get her at some point. Probably not going to be this weekend because I am saving for things that are yet to come. And I made an effort. Wasn't able to do it, unfortunately, but it does take a village. One of my guildmates, Corey, was nice enough to let me hop onto his account where he did pull Magda. And so now I'm going to be able to answer some questions that I did have earlier in the week that I didn't have answers for. So when I did post my video, there were two things that really stood out that I didn't have a clear answer on. The first was, what is Magda's ultimate range at the end of the day? Not the range of her ultimate, but what is her range when fully promoted, fully skilled up, etc. I wasn't sure if she got an expanded range, say like a Zilla 2 or an Arrogance or something like that, that long range that does seem to be reserved largely for anti-air fighters. However, due to her similarity to Zilla 2, I thought she should have the same range, right? Apparently not. It's just 2 tiles in front of her, which does limit her viability in some areas of the game. I'd say GVG most specifically it's going to be a limiting factor there, no doubt about it. However, I do think that there is some potential there for her still. Her knockback is fantastic, but I did want to make sure that everybody knows it's only a 2-tile range in front of her. It does not expand. However, the big thing, and I think the much more important thing, is regarding this skill, Electric Torrent. This is one of her passives. The caster and allies in range gain penetration increase and damage increase, full stop. That's it. They just gain it. It's permanent. They get it as long as they are in her range. That is incredible. But the question does come, what is her range as far as this buff is concerned? I think logically you might assume that it is her attack range, which, as I said, is that 2 tiles in front of her. However, I did some testing and I found out that's not actually the case. It's actually quite a bit better than that. I would say bordering on overpowered. So I'm going to take you over to the guild boss. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. If you did pull Magda, you're not going to want to miss this. All right, guys. So I have placed my units in the guild boss. I've tried to do it in such a way that I can accurately show you what the range is on this buff. So what we've done is I've placed 5 out of the 6 ground tiles. I've placed heroes on them. We've got our Deimos here, and notice there are no buffs on anybody right now as I kind of go around in a circle here. We've got Volca and Wrath there. We've also got our Vortex here, and Silas is down below. We are going to place Magda right here, and we're going to face her to the left. So the question is, who's going to get the buffs, right? So you would think by default, at least Deimos and Zilla 2, which are the 2 heroes that are going to be within her attack range, should get those buffs. So let's drop her and let's check and see. So there we go. We've got a damage increase and a penetration increase on Deimos. We've also got a damage increase and a penetration increase on Zilla 2. Let's take a look up here. Volca is 1 tile forward and 1 tile to the right. She is getting the damage increase and penetration increase. Wrath is to the right of our Magda, and he's also getting buffs. He's not in her attack range, as you can see here. The only heroes that are in her attack range are Deimos and Zilla 2. Let's take a look at Vortex, who is behind Magda. Let's see if he is getting it. He, she, I'm not sure what the proper pronoun is for an elemental Vortex, but in any case, they've got buffs. We've also got Silas back here. Silas is getting the buffs as well, and he is behind and 1 tile over from our Magda. So this is incredible at the end of the day. The only hero on this screen that is not getting a buff right now is Aracha. I am going to put it on 2 times speed for 1 second as I kind of talk at you. I'm going to let Magda regenerate her rage so that we can pop her ultimate and see if that has any impact. But what I have determined is that all of the adjacent tiles that are adjacent to Magda's placement are going to get the buff. So by that, I mean we're going to get every single one of these that is in a 1 tile adjacent range from Magda is going to get those buffs. On top of that, anybody in her attack range is going to get it as well. So that 1 tile that is, or excuse me, 2 tiles extended out from Magda, where Zilla 2 is placed right now. So as you can see, Zilla 2 is at the end of Magda's range. That tile is going to get it as well. However, it's not going to extend any further than that. Aracha is not going to get the buff here. The question, though, is whether or not Magda is going to be able to buff that when we use her ultimate, because if you didn't know, the ultimate does expand her attack range. As you can see, the orange tiles right here are going to be her attack range when we do pop the ultimate. Let's pop it right now, and let's see if Aracha has gotten that buff. And she did not. So expanding the range in the ultimate does not expand the buff range. That is important to note. However, this is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. So if we're talking about basically the square around her, all the adjacent tiles, that is 8 tiles right there. We're also going to be able to buff 1 more tile because she buffs the end of her attack range as well, which is where Zilla 2 is. So that's 9 potential buffs in total. Now you can't bring, that many heroes. You have to be able to bring a 10-man team to buff or to have somebody in every single one of those tiles. However, this is ridiculous. You can buff your entire team if you want to, as long as you place them in such a way that you are placing them within her buff range. That means that you are going to be giving them a 20% damage increase when fully skilled up, a 15% penetration increase when fully skilled up, and this is a permanent buff so long as the heroes are placed in that range. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. There are other heroes in the game that do provide damage boosts. I'm thinking the ones that come to mind most readily are Laurel and Leia. Laurel provides a 20% damage boost when a hero uses their ultimate when she is not actively using her ultimate, but that only lasts for 8 seconds. Leia, I think, provides a 25% damage increase, if I'm not mistaken, but you may have to fact check me on that. But either way, I think it's a 20-second duration on that damage increase, but then it goes away. This is permanent. This is forever, as long as the heroes are deployed in the range that I just described. So 2 tiles forward or 1 tile adjacent to Magda's placement, they are going to get that buff, and that is massive. The key thing to note here is that when I did my video earlier in the week, I wasn't sure if it was just her own attack range. The 2 tiles directly to the left of Magda's placement right now, that would mean that if you wanted to buff platform units, you would have had to basically sacrifice her attack range and face her towards a platform, which would not have been great. Might have been worth it based on the buffs because they are just that good, but I'm happy to say that's not the case. The other option would have been just to face forward and buff 2 ground units in front of her. But again, you wouldn't have been able to buff platform units if that was the case. Like I said, I'm happy to say that is not the case. This buff is incredible. It's permanent. It's a flat 20% damage increase, a 15% defense and magic resist ignore. I love this hero. I'm a little bitter I wasn't able to pull her. I do hope that this video was helpful to you. If you do have any questions about anything that I have said here, please feel free to ask them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to expand on what I've said. If you did pull Magda, I think you should be pretty excited about it. I think she is going to be quite good in a lot of different areas in the game. She's going to be a serious buffer, arguably on a, well, I don't want to say a Dolores level, but it's significant. It's pretty significant. I mean, being able to buff that many units and still do amazing damage. I mean, that's the other thing. She does really good damage as well. So you're not really sacrificing anything. I mean, you bring in somebody like Dolores, and she is not going to be able to provide you with anything really other than the buff, right? Her heals are subpar. She doesn't do any damage, but Magda, on the other hand, does bring a lot of utility with her as well. So phenomenal hero. Congrats if you did get her. If you didn't, and you are considering pulling still, I would advise that you do. Take a shot at it. It would be worthwhile. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please do like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'll catch you all next time.